the site at the end, we wanted to keep the development at the end as well. So for us, we didn't really know if we could or couldn't. So the best way that we thought to do it is just do it. And we learned by sort of going along with the journey and sort of seeing what we could do. It turned out we could refinance the end on a commercial mortgage, and we ended up making, I can't top of my head, I just remember that just blanked on the numbers, but it's about 300,000, just about £300,000 profit from that first deal. So I'll share a few slides with me, but before I do that, I just want to ask a question to you guys in here, and if you can sort of put it in the chat, your answer. If you are looking to start developments or want to start developments, what is the one reason that is stopping you right now from starting? Okay, so what is one thing that is stopping you actually starting a development? And we probably get a lot of the same. I'm sure there's a lot of things that sort of crop up the same as well. Just while you do that, are you able to sort of allow me to share my screen? If you go down to share screen, you should be able to sort of select to share. Cool. There we go. So yeah, the question I asked is kind of what is stopping you right now from developing, and knowledge. So Tenny, thank you very much. Knowledge, yeah. If you don't know how to do it, it could stop you. Okay, when I first started, I didn't know how to do it, but I had a passion and desire to do it, which I actually learned by doing it, which it cost me a lot more than if I was to pay for education now. But what I did learn, I've managed to use and utilize and develop, or develop my skills and develop properties. But I've also now been able to sort of formulate how to do it properly, and that's how we teach people as well. So Lucy, money and finding properties. Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you don't know what to do, it's hard to start. Okay, but if you've got a passion and desire to actually want to develop property, and what I mean by developing is either a commercial conversion or land development. And what we specialize is land development. So let me just share this with you here. So this is my business partner, Andy, and this is me on the bottom right. Back in 2014, I attended a 3-day property seminar, and it was basically the first ever property thing I've ever been to. I didn't know how to invest in property. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know you could borrow money from other people and add value to a property and then keep it or sell it or anything like that. I honestly thought you had to raise 25% of the property value out of your own money, your savings, your earnings, to put down as a deposit and then rent that out. And then over time that would increase in value. So 10 years later, I could refinance and take my 25% out. That's what I thought property investing was all about. I didn't realize that you could buy below market value. I didn't realize you could borrow people's money. So when I say I was naive, I was naive. I guarantee every single person on this call already knows more than I knew back in 2014. Guarantee it. Okay. But one thing that I had was passion. I had a desire to do it. Ever since I was kind of a little kid, little boy, all I could think about was starting my own business. I just wanted to do something for myself. I was always kind of a creative person, and I also didn't really like being told what to do. But for me, I wanted to start something for myself. I went through school, didn't really know what to do. All my friends applied to university and wanted to go to university. I didn't, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of knew what I wanted, but I just didn't know what. So I went to New Zealand, Australia. I went traveling instead. I went to Fiji. I went to sort of the southern hemisphere, just basically traveling. When I was 18, while I was out there, I came up with some business ideas and came back eager to start a business, but knowledge, knowing where to find a business, the money side, that stopped me even starting, because I didn't know how to start a business. So the easiest thing for me to do at that point was not to start. So this was 2005 when I came back from traveling. I got a job. I went to work for Taylor Wimpey, and then basically I was there selling houses. Did that for about 9 months and then went to work for a mortgage broker. Did that for about 9 months. Then I went to work for a lighting company. Did that for about 2 or 3 years. Then I joined another lighting company for another 2 or 3 years. So about 8 years passed. And 8 years since the dream of starting a business was kind of what I wanted to do. It just faded out over 8 years because, you know what, I was secure, I was comfortable, and I just carried on with life. And I wasn't earning a lot. I was earning about £1,500 per month, and just getting along. And I was happy, but I was just kind of in a job that I was just getting paid for. I was working hard, but getting the same amount of money every single week or every single month until the 4th of November. And unfortunately, my dad passed away with a brain tumor. And it was the kind of realization of that's kind of the kick in the teeth, kind of the kick I needed, the trigger that I needed to actually think, why am I wasting my life? And why am I not doing something I've always wanted to do? Why am I just getting on with life? And that hit me quite hard, not in an emotional way. I was upset, but I was more driven then. And I took the loss of my dad into a drive to say, right, I'm doing something. I'm going to change what I'm doing now. And it was a massive decision for me. A huge decision. 56 days after my dad died, my granddad died. So in the space of those sort of 56 days, I'd lost 2 people that were quite inspirational to me. So my desire just ramped up. So I attended 3 days in January, went to a property course and thought, I'm going to do it. I didn't know I wanted to do property either until that course, and thought, okay, still don't know if I could do it. But my business partner, Andy, he's my wife's cousin. He was doing it as well. He thought, well, you know what, if we're going to do it, let's do it together. And we said, okay, let's support each other and do it. So we found this plot of land on Rightmove. It was going to auction in Northampton, which is where we're based. And the guide price was £100,000 to £125,000. Well, 2 weeks earlier, I'd just been told that you find a deal and the money will follow. So I was like, okay, easy. I can find £100,000. Don't know where from. No idea where from at all. And we were buying from auction. So actually at auction, you've only got 28 days to find that money. So we kind of threw ourselves in the deep end, and very, very deep end, and we learned how to swim quickly. So we ended up buying this plot of land. But the one thing that I want to sort of explain is that we had no money, we had no knowledge, and we had no time. I was full-time employed, I was working full-time. But we ended up buying this plot of land at auction. And this is what we ended up, in fact, this is what we ended up buying, was this. Okay, 22 lock-up garages in the middle of Northampton. This is what we ended up building. Okay, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just ended up building. We ended up buying it for £157,000. Okay, we had to find that money from investors, which we did. I'm not going to go to the story of that because I haven't got the time to go through that. But we ended up finding all of that money from friends and family. But we'd never, ever thought about borrowing money off them before. Okay, we had a property, and this deal was a deal that was able to show investors that they could get their money back, and yeah, they could help us out. So we bought it for £157,000. Because we then owned that outright, because we borrowed all the money from investors, we got 100% development finance of £600,000. Now that's easy money to find. We spent about £810,000, £870,000 with interest. The end value of what we just created though was 8 two-bed townhouses. So 8 single buy-to-lets. The value of those 8 houses was 1.1 million. Okay, we've created £1.1 million worth of assets from a purchase of £157,000. So similar to what Kudrat said about HMO and buying something, adding value and refinancing again, it's exactly the same. Okay, it's just we're building the properties, not buying the properties. So we built 8 houses, 2-bed houses, and they got valued up at 1.18 million. We spent £870,000. So 75% mortgage on the asset value of 1.18 million was a refinance and a remortgage of £890,000. That covers our total spend. So same what Kudrat was saying about her property, the HMOs, and the finance being more than what you spent. That means you're able to pull money out. Okay, we left money in the deal in terms of equity because, yeah, we got 75% loan to value mortgage on an asset that we'd created. So we had £290,000 worth of equity, and we had £19,000 in the bank left over. Same sort of thing, same HMOs. It's just this is building rather than the HMO side. And our rent per month was nearly £6,500. The mortgage was 3,200, something like that. Okay, and that's the first deal we ever did. And that first deal was called St. James in Northampton. This is our portfolio to date in terms of development. So some of the stuff we've sold, some of it we are still working on. But this is our portfolio journey. And it's very open, very honest, showing you kind of the progression we've made. And we're currently at a £25 million sort of worth of properties that we've worked on. But it all started with that one on the left, that St. James site down here. Okay, so St. James, the first deal, like it was valued at 1.1 million when we finished. It's been recently valued at 1.4 million. So even the time we finished it, it's just going up in value. It's like cryptocurrency, just put some money and it's just going up daily. Okay, so for us, this is what build to rent is all about. Holding on to the assets and the values you can get going up. Leicester Street, Regent Street, they're two HMOs. Okay, because while the development's happening and being built, I focused on finding HMOs because I'm not the builder. Andy was the build side. That development was being built. I went there 6 times when it was being built. Leicester Street, Regent Street, HMOs. Booth Meadow Court, we converted a 6-bed to 3 flats. Green Lane's a HMO, and Victoria Street was our second site once we'd completed the first site. Neil Avenue we sold. Harrison Street, Story Square, Albert Street, Ainsley Street, they're all HMOs, which were service accommodation HMOs. Wheatsheaf, Crystal Palace, Washington, between those 3 pubs, they were pubs that we converted into service accommodation. We had 62 rooms. At peak, we had 82 service accommodation rooms as well. Montague Street is 9 flats. Lakeview is 12 houses. We had an offer accepted on one of those this weekend. Lawson Street, we've completed and sold at 1.6 million. Simpson is 4 houses in Milton Keynes. Mill Road is 24 flats in Wellingborough we're currently working on. And Watery Lane is one we're working on now. It's actually 28 housing. In fact, I'll share with you the latest drawing. So this came in today. So this is very fresh. This is the planning scheme for the 28 houses that we're building in Watery Lane. So this is kind of what we're looking at now, which, yeah, 7 years ago, you asked me if I was sort of looking at a 28 house build. I would certainly say that it wasn't true and it's not possible, but it is, because I've lived it, I've done it, and I've taught a lot of people how to do this themselves as well. I'm currently filming a YouTube series showcasing the deals that our students have done, showing you that they were just normal people starting out from a standing start, having a belief that they could do it. And that's the main thing with developments. You've got to believe you can do it, because if you don't believe it, you can't do it. But if you believe you can do it, there is a way of doing it as well. And this is what we're here to help and support with. But that is kind of the latest kind of on there. But the key on this is that it just starts with one. Okay, you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. Okay, and this is what developments is all about. Developments is incredible. And this is the kind of portfolio and the values on there as well. So this is kind of the units we've built. So 223 units that we have created. That's 132 properties, and the units are HMO rooms, service accommodation rooms as well, but £25 million worth of property deals. Okay, and here's some of the deals that we've done, properties we've done, and the conversions we're doing as well. So they're absolutely amazing. I love the property developments. Absolutely love it. And it is for you. If you want to do it, we can certainly help. Okay, I'm not going to sort of talk about kind of the courses we run or anything like that. Like if you're interested, come and talk to me. It's Lloyd Girardi. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. There's only one Lloyd Girardi on Facebook, which is quite cool. But yeah, just search my name and let me know if you're interested and find out anything more, or just look at white box stuff. I'd recommend going to YouTube and have a look at some of our videos on there as well. The series isn't released yet, but if you're subscribed, you'll get notified when that is released. yeah, the developments has been absolutely awesome. St James is the first deal we ever did. Victoria Street was the second development we did of 11 houses. That made about £639,000 profit. Simpson in Milton Keynes we're selling. That's currently 4 houses, 3 4-beds, 1 5-bed. Washington Pub, Wheatsheaf, Lawson Street, Waterloo Lane, Mill Road, Lakeview. They're all developments and absolutely love them as well. And yeah, it's changed my life. It's changed my life. And for that, I kind of thank my dad. Like, without, it sounds horrible, but without my dad sort of passing away, I'd still probably be in a job. I'd still just be doing what I've always wanted to do. So he kind of inspired me to actually do something. And I know he'd be proud of me sort of doing something now. And obviously my granddad as well would be super proud. So for me, I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. But mostly, and more importantly, I'm helping other people start how I started. And that's what White Box is all about. White Box is there just to help people get going, get people started, because it is possible. You can do it. So the question I asked at the beginning of what's stopping you doing developments, that shouldn't stop you. If education and knowledge is stopping you, learn. If money and finding properties is stopping you, learn. I can teach you how to find properties, but without sort of learning and going through education, you're going to always be unsure or not know how to do it. Okay, there's other people out there. There's other people that can show you how to do deals. We're not the only training company, but we are kind of the we're kind of the only company I think to really care. It sounds horrible. I'm sure the companies do really care, but we know that anyone that sort of invests their time and money with us, the return is to get a development, and that will pay you far more than any that you pay us. We recently, someone completed on the site and they made £750,000 profit. They certainly didn't pay us that. So yeah, this is, I'm happy to take Q&As and some questions as well, rather than sort of me talking on. I could talk forever about developments and show you all of our deals and sites and what went right, what went wrong. But yeah, let's sort of answer some questions. Let's find out. I don't know what sort of time I've got, but yeah, happy to go through anything.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Yeah, a lot of information there. Any questions?
I know it's kind of like a brain dump of development stuff.
It's how do you secure your land for development? What the process on, what's the best way you do that?
We're all about mitigating risks as much as possible. So if a site doesn't have planning, we wouldn't advise to just go and spend money on it, because if it doesn't get planning, it is a risk. But you can buy subject to planning, and then you go through a planning process. That is the risk element. But with any property deal, there is always a risk anyway. But you kind of go through that process and purchase once you get planning. To secure it, find investors, they can put the money down, or you can do a delayed completion or exchange delayed completion with 100% refundable deposit. There's option agreements, but out of the £25 million worth of deals, we've never done one. I don't see the point of doing them. I'd rather just get on a site, get it done, get it out, get it finished. I'm not one to sit on a site and do it in 3 or 4 years time. I'd just rather do it now and finish it as soon as we can and then move on.
Thank you. Got another question. Finding the money for the deals. How do you find money for your deals?
You ask.
OPM.
Yeah.
Other people's money. That's it.
You just ask people, and there are ways of asking. The way we teach people is we show them how to build credibility. No one is going to invest in you if they don't trust you. So you've got to build that rapport up. You've got to build a relationship up. Don't try and go into a conversation with someone hoping you'd get money out of that conversation straight away. It takes time. Okay, so and the one thing with property is there is no such thing as an overnight success with property. It is a struggle. It is challenging, but it is so rewarding. And yeah, it's some nice things that can come out of it, and not to boast or anything like that, but on the drive is a Ferrari and an Aston Martin, because I love my cars. But selling LED lights and working for a mortgage company, I would never have been able to do that myself. So it's a proud moment, I can say that, but I've done it myself. So I've learned and helped other people succeed as well, and the rewards come back the other way. So law of reciprocity: give good out and good will return.
Definitely. A couple of questions here. I know you've answered the first one. So where do you search for land? You've answered that. And someone's asked, what's your favorite car? That's not property related, but it's come there.
Yeah, it's I suppose the favorite affordable is the Ferrari 488 GTB, red, black roof, yellow calipers, cream interior, and a Nero Vorsteiner Diablo kit on it. Not that I've thought about it.
Was that the one on the drive on your program that you came up? Was that another one?
No, that's the Ferrari 360. That's the
nice
car.
That's a really nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got another one. What about training and mentoring opportunity in your company? I think, yeah, you can, I think white box, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll put if it's okay, I'll put the website in there. The more
or you can,
there, but
yeah, I can share it because I've got a WhatsApp group, got a Facebook page as well. So happy to share that for whoever wants any more information on it. So yeah, that's fine. Any other question?
How do you find land? So how do you search for land? For me, there's a few ways. We teach 9 ways to find land, but the key, I think, and despite what people tell me constantly, Rightmove. If Rightmove is a place that there's so many opportunities, yes, 9 out of 10 of them are overpriced, or in fact 99 out of 100 of them are overpriced. But you've got to, and the way we teach is you've got to offer what is affordable to you. Ignore every single asking price on Rightmove. Probably 80% of the deals we've done have been online and on Rightmove at some point.
Okay. So another question though is, what if you don't have experience? How can you then take on a development project? How do you justify that to the lenders, like the development finance people?
So when I first started, I had no money in the bank. So I had no money to show a lender either. I had no development experience. I'd done nothing apart from saying I'd worked for Taylor Wimpey selling houses. That wouldn't cut it. But for me, I borrowed the track record. Andy, my business partner, owned a construction company. Yeah. His track record was he built his house. So he only built his one house, but that was enough to satisfy the lender to lend on the deal. If the deal is good enough, the lender will be flexible. But like, if you're going to take anything away from tonight, don't let anything stop you. There is always a solution to something.
Yeah.
If you think you can't do it, think again. Think how you can do it. Like, what is the solution to doing it? Wow. Activity creates opportunity.
Definitely. Yeah, that's point on. Yeah, spot on with your comment there. Yeah, at the end of the day, you just have to do it. Don't say you can't. Just get on and do it. There's always a solution, like you said. There's always a way. There's always a way. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
The hashtag whitebox way.
Yeah, nice. So the link's there for anyone that wants any more information. Thank you so much once again. So now we'll be moving on to Sean. Sean is an accountant. He is an entrepreneur. He's a property investor. Let me try and find Sean. Sean, I can't see you. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Sean. Hiya. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Kudra and Lloyd, for sharing your presentations. I'm going to be honest, I don't have a presentation to show you guys, but mine will be nice and quick and swift. If anything, I can probably show you a little bit of what I've got. Can I share screen?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, you can. Should be able to.
How do you go into slideshow? There you go. You can tell I'm not.
Luck. Any luck?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's go share screen. Boom. There we go.
Nice.
Can you see that?
It's starting. There you go. Yep, we can see it now.
Yep. So yeah, I'm Sean Chung. I have a accountancy practice based in Derby. We're actually virtual as well because all our staff work from home. We've got a few VAs that help us as well in the background, which is quite good. I also do a bit of property as well, similar to Kudra, and hopefully on the scale of Lloyd as well. That's what me and my business partner are hoping to aspire to. But I thought I'd just share a little bit about my journey of what I've been doing the last since my career base, because I'm 26 this year. started quite young, helping parents in traditional takeaway restaurant style environment where they were running their own businesses, and I was just basically overseeing what they were doing, how they ran a business back in the day. And then steadily, as I kind of progressed, I got into accountancy around 2011. I thought the other day it was like 10 years ago, making me feel a bit old. But through that whole career, I experienced a lot from my old mentor. He taught me a lot within every other tax that you can think, like VAT, self-assessment, PAYE, corporation tax. And something that gave me great exposure was actually dealing with tax investigations. At one point, I was dealing with about 70 cases. So you can imagine 70 very stressed out people dealing with the HMRC. Some were basically innocent, some obviously been a bit naughty as well, but not for vicious reasons. They're just people get busy and then they forget to pay their taxes, put it that way. And then I plucked up the courage around 2016 to start my own practice with two other business partners at that time. The old mentor boss decided to retire, and I inherited most of his clients with a bit of goodwill payment. And then since then, I've just been on autopilot with my accounting practice in the background and doing property as well. Very recently, December last year was when I split from the business partners I got into. The whole point was we joined together so we could share the overheads, which is the staff and the office costs. But then before COVID, I always dreamt of, we don't need to be in an office environment all the time. If anything, a lot of staff didn't like it. They were coming and going. And then what we found was we need to give people a bit more freedom in a way. And that allows more creativity, and then work gets done more harmoniously. So recently in January is when I split from the business partners, and then we've set up this working from home based accountancy practice. And that brings me into, 258 accountancy. So our mission is really to manage accounts remotely for all clients and help our on the ground staff and virtual assistants. So basically we're trying to incorporate an idea where you don't physically need to meet your accountant before you go to the office and you go through your books. But I think most accountants are changing their ways anyways. And then our milestone will be we want all our clients to be utilizing either Xero QuickBooks, like Quarter 3, and then a team of 30 virtual assistants employed by us at the end of the year full time. For those of you that don't understand what a virtual assistant is, they work overseas, so like in the Philippines or Bangladesh, and they would have access to the accounts online and access to our drives. So the work tends to be done very professionally over there. We, as a UK base, we would have to deal with client relationship. Just a little idea, we started off taking on mainly catering clients, which is now only 13% of our client base. So we've currently got about 200 companies, and 74% of those companies are now property clients, which fits in with what I've been doing for the last few years. Just going back into this, so I started my property journey from 2018 through education. So I paid for my education, did loads of courses, and just kind of learned from networking, all sorts. Purchased my own home in May 18, and then my first investment property was bought in November 18. It wasn't very exciting. It was just like your standard 2-bed house, and rented out the following month. And since then, I've bought about 15 properties to date, and I've raised about £1.9 million in investor finance, £500,000 of which has been paid back through projects. Is just a little bit of a snapshot of the portfolio. So we've got some properties here pending for completion in June, and a couple are on like lease option agreements. So within the last 2.5 years, I have managed to build quite a significant portfolio with significant rents as well, to not only create my financial freedom, unless a lot of people talk about it, but it's also complementing what I'm doing as well. So I've got accountancy and property. And here's like a little snapshot of all the investors where we pay like an average interest rate of around 6% per investor. And then jump into, well, this is like the unfinished slide, sorry. COVID property. So last year I completed 5 projects through COVID. It was a scary time, something that no one's ever experienced. I myself haven't experienced. I went into 2020 with 8 property deals. And then when January hit, it was still all guns blazing, everything all rosy. February was when I completed on the properties. And then when March hit, we started our refurbs, and all of a sudden everything went standstill. And then I think I was pulling my hair out for a few weeks because no one knew what was going to happen. But working alongside the builder, I believe we did really well because we've managed to finish. We had 4 6-bedroom HMO projects, a pub conversion which recently finished, and I went into last year with some commercial to resi as well. So there's a 14-bed which is going into finish in the next couple of months, and the 24-bed as well started a couple of months ago. So despite all the stoppages last year, we managed to not only buy and refurbish, but also refinance all the projects, which again, that's something I'm quite proud of because with difficult times, I think everyone was thinking everything was up in the air basically, and then we managed to pull the team together and get them rented and tenanted and refinanced. So basically that's me in a nutshell. I know it was nice and quick, but I spoke to Gujarat before where we talked about how accountancy should be a foundation of any business, and I feel as though a lot of people misinterpret the figures. They don't look at their margins carefully, and I think Lloyd can probably relate to when you look at developments, you've got to get your figures right, otherwise you could be so far out and you'd end up losing money month on month. And people, like I said, there are loads of providers out there, and I feel the shiny pennies out there. It's like, oh, go on a course and then you'll be rich the next day. But if you don't look at the figures closely, and you could find yourself you're losing money rather than you're making money. And I think what else was there I wanted to highlight today was another thing is when you have your properties rented out, it's also to monitor the cash flow, monitor these projects, properties on a monthly basis, because again, if the pricing's not right on the rooms and damage is done throughout, or people move out, you've got to do some cleaning. Again, people don't set a cash flow to just set aside, and they end up thinking, oh, I'm going to make £1,000 a month, I'm going to spend £1,000 a month, and that's a big no-no in business. I find you've got to at least keep half in your cash flow, and the same thing kind of happens with like development finance as well, making sure there's a buffer to cover the costs in arrears before like development drawdowns come in place. So I think that's basically it, really. I think if anyone has any questions, I know it's short and brief, very, very sorry, but if you've got any questions, go far away.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. There's a question here. How do you manage having the accountancy practice and being an investor in terms of your workload and your time?
I try and keep it 70, 20, 10. And the 70 is really right now, if I focus on accountancy, it's going to be 70% accountancy. And I look at these in quarters. So each quarter, say if I want to focus on property, I'd go full steam in property. And it is really the support of my team behind me. It's not just myself doing the accountancy. We've got 6 on-the-ground staff. We've got a few part-time as well. And they do their jobs brilliantly because we've got people that do VAT, and we've got people do the self-assessments and accounts as well. role is really communicating with clients. So I'm not really bogged down in detail in all the accounts itself. I tend to get the draft accounts, get to have that discussion with clients, and then we move on really quickly. And with properties, the same again. The team behind me is the builders, and I'm not always on site. Not usually, but if I have to be, then again, I have to do that switch where the 70% of my time would go into property, X, Y, Z. So then I think it's the art of delegation. That's the key thing there.
Okay. Any other questions? How do you find your properties for development?
How do I find? So I've traditionally found properties off. We usually before with Rightmove, but what I did before was I did quite a few viewings, and then they tend to fall through in the next 3-4 months. So I always follow up. So out of the 8 deals I brought into 2020, 3 of them were follow-ups, 4 of them were direct to vendor. Something that happened really coincidentally was there's a 14-bedroom HMO I've got with 2 JV partners. We spoke to the chippy next door, who ended up being the uncle of the owner. And then when I spoke to the owner, he lived in my hometown. So deals are everywhere. It's just whether you ask the right questions at the right time, at the right place, really. And there's one property in particular, I sent letters. I went to a company's house, found out who the director was, found their home address, and then sent them quite a few letters. And I asked them, like, why did you choose me out of 4 other people? And he says, because I was too persistent. So it does pay off. And just be creative and be communicative as much as you can.
Okay. How have you managed your property portfolio with COVID in terms of voids and stuff?
I'll be honest, there's properties we do have voids, and that tends to be when we don't time it in for the student season and we can't get a group in. And then what happens is we'll have like 3 rooms filled, and then the other 2 tend to be void for like a few weeks until we find a new tenant. In other cases, we've had where tenants were really short term. They only wanted like a rolling contract, so we put them in. And then a month later, one of them went on furlough, so decided to go back home. So I think we just had to be really flexible last year, where people couldn't commit. And I think I see it as long as I cover enough of I cover the costs and the mortgage, I make a little bit less, it's okay, because everyone's in a different position. And then we keep marketing out for the right tenants, which I tend to target like hospital workers. So we've got a group of 6 nurses that took a whole house, and they're great. They're settled in, and although they're professionals, if they're from the Philippines as well, if they want to leave their room, they would find a replacement tenant. So again, it's being a bit more open and creative, and trying to keep these rooms filled wherever possible. And I've recently taken on my own property manager as well. So she is in-house, and we've done a handover, a very painful handover from the existing letting agent. But the whole idea is the money saved from the management fees can pay a full-time wage of someone in-house. And also anything on top can go towards like advertisement. Like we're going to go on Rightmove in the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, I think it's just managing people, really.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Oh, Sean. Okay, thank you so much, Sean. Thank you for your time. And if anyone needs to contact Sean, just let me know, and I can. Oh, do you want to share your details in there, Sean, just in case?
Yeah. What I'll do is you can find me on Facebook. Want to see property. I've also got a YouTube channel as well, which is the same title. Instagram, I update every now and then. Or my sister does, if anything. She's my social media manager. So give her a little part-time job. That's it. But no, if you find me on Facebook, I'm happy to help. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Is Jazim in? Because I know obviously Ramadan's just started. Can everyone still hear me? Can you hear me, Sean? I'm assuming everyone can still hear me. If you can't, please put in the chat so I know, because I'm assuming you can still hear me. Okay, I think let's have a look and see whether Jazim, because obviously the Ramadan started, Jazim, I'm not sure he is available to do the last slot. I've got a question that someone asked me earlier on. So one of the questions they've asked me, let me try and do this. Bear with me. Get that to me. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Is it okay? Can someone please let me know if you can hear me? Because you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. I wasn't too sure. So I had a question earlier on. Someone was asking me why I don't invest in London. And my answer to that, because I'm assuming everyone can hear me, is that you have a choice in terms of the appetite to travel. I was happy to travel to my various locations. It took me about 2.5, 3 hours to travel, but for me, that was fine. And again, like I said, because my daughter was going to uni around there, it was okay. And again, the truth behind it as well is that the amount you use to invest into a particular project is smaller when you go to locations further out, further north, than if you're investing in London, which is one of the factors I actually considered. So that's to answer that question that came true directly to me. Any questions at all for any one of us that have spoken? It seems like my last speaker, Jazim, isn't available. So I'm happy to answer any of your questions, or if you want to ask Sean, Sean's still available, please do. So, let's see. So Jazim was supposed to be covering like a deal analysis. And obviously he's not available at the moment. So I think based on that, if we don't have any more questions, we've been here now for about 1.5 hours, I would have to call it a night. But if you have any questions at all, I am happy to answer any questions about my strategy and the difference in terms of what you need to get started and location. So feel free to ask me any questions at all.
I've got one for you, Kudara. Here's a crystal ball question. Where do you see the market? Where do you see the market the next 12 months, let's say? Now we're lockdown sort of restrictions are coming out. Do you think there's more opportunities on the high street because a lot of shops are becoming empty? Yeah, what's your thoughts?
My personal thought is that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for those that have the money. So again, you can pick up bargains because there are probably a lot of people out there that are willing to sell, coupled with the tax regulations, coupled with the fact that they've lost businesses, that, you know, they're running low on cash, they want to sell up and maybe move into something completely different. The stress of COVID that actually, I personally think, would turn a lot of people against investing or going back to their old shops and whatever they were doing before. So there's definitely opportunities out there and a very good time to pick up a good deal, especially with the stamp duty as well, holiday. So there's still a couple of months to go with that. So yeah, there's money out there and they're good deals, you know, there's deals to actually get. And obviously with the regulations about commercial conversion, there are a lot of new regulations coming out there, permitted development rights and stuff. So Article 4, there's so much you can talk about that we can use to actually grow our portfolio, but it depends on the strategy. So it depends on what you want to do and where you're going. But I think there are definitely opportunities for the future.
No, that's good. That's good. Thank you for sharing.
That's okay. Any other question? So guys, I think with that in mind, if you don't mind, we're going to have to call it a day. What I would request though is if there's any particular area you would like us to cover, drop me a message, and then I can see how I can get that to life. And more so, if you want to know more about the strategy I use, that's one of the key strategies. I'm offering a 30 minutes free Zoom session with anyone interested, so I can kind of go through and we can see how we can help you with that. So yeah, I think based on that, I would call it a night. I hope you've all enjoyed it though. Any feedback will be welcome. If you need anything else, feel free to give me a call or message me. I think there's another question. Would it be possible to please get the recording sent out? Let's have a look and see what we can do with that. Poor connection. Was the connection poor from my side, or someone said there was a poor connection? I hope it wasn't me. I'm literally sitting next to my router because I didn't want anything to go wrong. So I just hope you've taken something away. And like Lloyd said, if you want to do something, there's no point hanging on, just get in and do it. You can learn as you go along. And obviously you need to kind of do the training and someone will be there to guide you, just go for it, go big or go home, like I always say. And I'm really grateful that everyone's joined this evening. I hope you've taken something away. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will put in my Facebook group. If you haven't joined my Facebook group, I'll also put that in the link. Join me on my WhatsApp group, Facebook group, and then we can kind of connect together. And any questions, happy to help in any way or shape I can. And so have a good evening, everyone. Do take care. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye all.
Can you put your WhatsApp group details? Sorry. Put your WhatsApp group details. I don't want to bother with Facebook. Can you put your WhatsApp too?
I will do that now. Let me try and get into it.
I'll try to put contact details quickly before we gone, but I think I typed it, but you didn't see it.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's see.
Facebook's too much traffic there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I get you. I get you. Let's just see what I can.
For networking, but for personal, I don't use it. No.
Let's see what I can do.
Or WhatsApp. Yeah.
I'm just going
up on the 30-minute call. Is it strictly 30 minutes?
It could be less.
I'm just saying, that's not very long.
No.
30 minutes.
Well,
you can't express your business life in 30 minutes.
I get you, but 30 minutes can do a lot. You could do a lot in 30 minutes. Invite link group.
Time permitting, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, copy link. I'm just going to try and do this. Sorry about that. I should have done this, but hey ho. Yeah. Well, I do hope you've taken something away.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I know Lloyd is very good. He's one of the good ones out there.
I
know for a fact, because I mean it's the internet swamped with so many people claiming to be this, that, and the other. But Lloyd, I know he's good.
Yeah.
The white box. I've followed them for years, so I know. I've been watching them.
Copy link address, and then let's go into that. I should get it now.
This session was very informative.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I trust you're well. So that's a WhatsApp group. Let me try and see what I can get.
What is it?
Did I put
in the chat?
Oh my God! I sent it directly to Lucy.
Oh, okay.
Not good. There you go. And then my Facebook group. I'm just going to try and get that as well. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Facebook.
Contact you on there for the telephone appointment.
Yeah. Group. Let's see.
Thank you very much.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And we can obviously talk about, what you're doing, how we can help you and stuff. So no worries at all. Just connect with me and then we'll take it from there.
I'm going to email you anyway as well.
Okay. All right. Have a lovely evening, everybody.
And you. Bye-bye.
Take care of yourself
Take
now.
care.
All right then. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.